Husband want to put trackers on me. I said no. So he planted cameras everywhere. Now I have 14 days to vanish and start a new life. I got married to my husband, Greg, 7 months ago. The problem is that he started making me really uncomfortable and I need to get out of this marriage. At first, I thought Greg was just being protective and trying to be a good partner. Every time I left the house without him, he would ask who I was meeting with, where I was going, what we planned on doing, and how long I would be gone. But then he started checking my phone after the visits and digging into each of my friends. He's also been pushing me to link my bank account to his. He says he's in charge of the money. We argue about it almost every day. Yesterday, he really crossed a line. He's getting ready to go on a work trip for 2 weeks, and he told me I had to wear a tracker so he could keep an eye on me while he's gone. I can't do this anymore. I feel like I'm suffocating. When I tried talking to his family, they just said he's being careful and protective, like a good husband should. I need to gather my things and figure out how to leave before Greg gets back without letting him know. He's always threatened that if he ever found out I was cheating, he'd file for divorce that same day. He even keeps a filled-out copy in his desk. I'm going to submit those papers the day I leave. There's so much to do. I need to find a new place to live, see if my job has any transfers, pack and move, all in 2 weeks. His return flight is in 2 weeks, so I need to hurry. I don't have any close family, and I can't risk dragging my friends into this since we share the same friends. Some people have asked why I would be hiding things from Greg about going out and who I'm meeting with. The truth is, I don't have anything to hide. I've always been open about where I'm going and who I'm with. But Greg started double-checking everything I told him with the other people who were there, even down to each person I talked to and what I said, whether I sent any text messages, if I ordered food, and even how much I ate. That's when it started to feel like I was being trapped. It didn't start that bad, but it gradually got worse over time. I trust that my bank account is safe because he's tried to access it before and failed. I found one camera in the kitchen, another in the living room, and one in our bedroom. For now, I've left them there and have been doing all my other planning in the bathroom, pretending I'm taking a bath. I've met with 2 lawyers so far and had them look over the papers Greg prepared. Both said the papers had some parts that could cause me problems later on. What shocked all of us was that some of those parts dealt with future kids, not just as a possibility. Like others have suggested, I think he fully planned to get me pregnant to keep me trapped. The day before I leave, I'm going to change my phone plan and wipe my laptop and all of his electronics before I go. I plan on leaving before he gets back, just to make sure I'm nowhere near here when he returns. Sadly, all of our friends are mutual, and they might not realize how bad it is if they share anything I say or do with Greg. I don't have any close family left, and obviously, my in-laws are not people I can trust. It's been a busy week, but I've gotten a lot done. First, I'm out of the house and staying in a hotel while I look for an apartment. I didn't take much from the house, just my important papers, clothes, and things that mean a lot to me. I cleaned the house from top to bottom and took pictures with my phone so he couldn't say I damaged anything when I left. My laptop is from work, and the IT department checked it carefully. It was clear, thank goodness. I'm not taking any other electronics with me except my laptop and a new phone. I've set up a cheap phone plan for now until this is all over. Then I'll get a new carrier, number, and phone. This one will be wiped and left behind. Good news. There's an opening at work that I qualify for, and it will move me across the country with a higher salary. I'll have all my stuff moved that afternoon, and I'll fly out once the weather clears up. I found a small moving company that's willing to work during the storm. In 5 days, a big storm is supposed to hit. I plan to shut off the breaker and say we lost power if he asks, just like several people suggested. I'll even send him a short video of the storm. I'm hoping he doesn't notice anything is wrong until after I leave, and I'm not turning the breaker back on when I go. My lawyer has already started the divorce, and my husband will be served next week. His plane is supposed to land early in the morning, and the sheriff will be at the house waiting for him. I haven't told our friends or his family yet. I plan to do that while he's on the flight so he doesn't find out before he gets the divorce papers. I'll be calling around to explain why we're getting divorced, to stop him from trying to twist it into somehow being my fault. I don't want him to claim I had an affair or something, so I want to get the truth out before he can change the story. He cares a lot about how people see him and his reputation. My lawyer will also call him to let him know that I'm ready to tell everyone about his actions if it helps me get free from him. I have a lawyer who will push my divorce through, and I've done the paperwork so I don't have to be here for it. I'm not suing for assets or alimony, and I've shredded his divorce papers too. I'm doing okay. I'm tired, but I feel nervous and uneasy. I keep looking over my shoulder and watching what I say, even though I don't need to anymore. I hope that feeling goes away soon. I don't know when my next update will be, probably when the divorce papers are filed. I'm trying to stay positive, but it feels like I'm caught in a whirlwind with so many things to do and think about. I've started telling my in-laws and friends that I'm planning a surprise outing for when my husband gets back, just for the two of us. This way, people won't look at me funny if they see me out and about. It's been a little while, and I thought I'd answer some questions before giving my update. It might take some time before things change again, but I've found an apartment, and the building has good security. As part of my agreement, I gave them a picture of Greg and his family so that even if they somehow find me, they won't be allowed in. I've gotten a lot of emails from Greg, his family, and our old friends asking me lots of questions. The responses I received were different. His family said I was overreacting and that I should apologize to Greg for the trouble this has caused him. The pending criminal charges could make him lose his job if he's found guilty. Greg sent a long email saying sorry and begging me to come back home. He said he was worried about me and that he's willing to go to therapy if it will make me feel better. He wants us to stay together and didn't think leaving was the right way to respond to his genuine concern for my health and safety. The friends gave weak replies, saying that they didn't think Greg was ever going to hurt me and that I shouldn't let my imagination run wild. As much as I want to say I was surprised by their lack of support, I'm honestly not. Some have asked why I was so worried about Greg and what he might do in the future. The answer to that is actually pretty simple. My grandmother. I loved her a lot. When I was a teen, she explained why my grandfather was never around. He was very abusive and controlling, and in her time, divorce wasn't really an option. So she stayed with him until he passed away. When I felt like I might be overreacting, I remembered how she said she always wished she'd been able to see my grandfather for what he was early on when she could have annulled the marriage. I've only sent one reply to Greg, explaining that I don't believe we are truly compatible and that it's best we separate now. I told him that the way he treated me, when I hadn't done anything to deserve it, was just as bad as cheating was for him. I ended the email by saying that I wouldn't be contacting him anymore and that if he needed to tell me anything, or if I needed to tell him anything, it would go through my lawyer. For his family and friends, I wrote one email explaining everything that had happened and why I left. I told them I didn't hold any grudges, but that the way Greg treated his wife and partner was not okay. I added that if Greg gets remarried in the future, I hoped they would support both partners, not just Greg. From what my lawyer told me, Greg was very angry when he was served. The sheriff ended up arresting him for assaulting an officer and making threats. His father bailed him out a few hours later, but with the sheriff's testimony, my lawyer believes I have a good chance of getting a restraining order. When Greg got back to the house, he apparently lost his temper again, breaking the dining table, smashing the television, and punching several holes in the walls. At least that's what one of our friends reported in an email after Greg called him to help clean up the mess. My lawyer already has the pictures I took of the house, with timestamps as proof that I didn't damage anything. My friend said that Greg tried to claim I had trashed the house, but the holes in the wall were at head height. Greg is 6'3" and I'm 5'4", so he knew that was a lie. Either way, taking the pictures will definitely help me, so again, thank you to everyone here for the advice because I never would have thought of that on my own. He plans to fight the divorce. I am letting my lawyer handle it, and I am also pursuing a protective order. I also froze my credit. I've changed my phone carrier and number, and I've made sure none of my documents list Greg as next of kin or power of attorney. It's been a month since my last update. The divorce is moving forward, but it could still take about 6 months. Even though I'm not asking for any property, alimony, or money and just want a clean break, Greg's refusal to agree means I have to go through the courts to get it approved. Greg has tried to use our friends to reach out to me because he doesn't want to talk through my lawyer. He says it's disrespectful and cowardly to hide behind my lawyer and not meet him face to face. He also sent a letter to me through my lawyer. In it, he explained his actions and claimed that in today's world, it's dangerous for women to be on their own. He said that's why he was so focused on keeping me safe from harm. Greg wanted me to understand that he was trying to protect me the best way he could, and felt hurt that I lied to him and hid my feelings about our marriage and my decision to leave. I didn't respond because he never apologized. All he did was turn everything around on me, accusing me of being too dramatic, emotional, and cowardly. There was a second letter from my sister-in-law. Her letter was honestly disturbing and made me even more sure that I shouldn't talk to her. She spent 5 paragraphs explaining what a real abusive relationship looks like, saying that Greg is the last person who could be abusive. She claimed that my attempts to ruin her brother's reputation for attention made me the abuser, not him. I haven't really been able to process that, to be honest. Part of me wonders if she's right. I mean, I did leave without warning and I'm refusing to talk to him at all. My old boss suggested I look into therapy after I moved, and I think I need to. I've had a hard time getting used to being on my own. I keep second-guessing myself and haven't even gone out to eat yet. I always end up worrying about what if someone sees me? What if I get in trouble for spending money on something unnecessary? My lawyer is still pushing for the divorce, and I shouldn't have to be in court in person. Any meetings between me and the judge can be done over Zoom. I'm trying to avoid any confrontation with Greg and his family for now and have passed both letters to my lawyer in case he needs them. Work is going well, and it's helpful to have something familiar to keep my day-to-day life steady when so much has changed and is still changing. Enjoyed this one? Don't forget to like and subscribe. It keeps me going and helps me make more awesome stuff for you. Until next time.